Koba survived the fall. In our previous video, we discussed the theory that Koba is an ancestor of Proximus Caesar, as he shares many similarities with this character. However, there is a problem with the story. Since Koba lost his life in the confrontation with Caesar, it is logical to think that he never reproduced, or that it would not make sense for Koba to have founded his own clan apart from Caesar's. However, what would you think if I told you that there is evidence to suggest that Koba survived his confrontation with Caesar? What if the director of the movie left clues that point to the fact that this cruel ape survived, and that there is still much more to his story to be told? In this video, we'll be explaining why Koba may have survived. And for more videos from the Planet of the Apes universe, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Before starting with this video, I invite you to participate in our Planet of the Apes giveaway, where we will be awarding the Funko Pop of the Apes Liberator Caesar, along with the trilogy of this great character. So if you want to participate, you just have to subscribe to this channel and comment on which is your favorite character from the Planet of the Apes universe, and why. The winner will be announced on May 27th. With the release of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, many unfinished stories from the previous films will now be able to continue, such as the disappearance of the new Icarus spaceship, or what happened to Caesar's son. One of the stories that was never told, however, is what is supposed to happen to Koba after his supposed death. The confrontation between Caesar and Koba is one of the most shocking moments in Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes trilogy. This is where we saw Caesar come to the conclusion that the only way to protect the apes was to end Koba's life. It was also the moment when Koba wanted to take away Caesar's power, because he thought Caesar was weak. The empathy that Caesar felt for humanity was not something that Koba shared, since he had suffered mistreatment as a subject of experiment since he was just a circus ape. The confrontation between Caesar and Koba concludes with Koba falling in free fall from a platform from a great height, but his death was something that is not confirmed in the film, although of course, it is assumed that he did lose his life because of the way he fell, taking into account the height from which he fell as well. However, although it is most likely that Koba lost his life in this fall, the reality is that at the end of the credits of this film, we can hear that Koba was alive. In this scene, we can hear pieces of wood breaking and metal bending, while we can hear several apes, but also the deep breathing of one of them. The interesting thing about this is that upon hearing this in the after credits, many speculated that Koba would be in the next movie. However, nothing more was heard from Koba after his supposed death. There was no trace of Koba in the next movie. But could Koba really have survived that fall? Is a simple audio after the credits enough evidence to think that this cruel ape is alive? What would you think if I told you that people close to the production confirmed that the ape heard at the end of the movie was actually Koba? In the Wikipedia of War for the Planet of the Apes, we can read the following. Toby Kebbell, who portrayed Koba in Dawn, had expressed interest in reprising his role or performing as other characters. Plans to include Koba in a larger role in the film were abandoned early, with Baumbach saying, "If you stayed until the very end of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, you hear Koba's breathing. We did that to give us a tiny crack of a possibility that we could revive Koba if we wanted to. Very early on in spitballing, we realized there was nothing more to do with Koba, certainly nothing that would exceed what he had done in the last story. But we knew we wanted to keep him alive as an idea. In playing out the reality of what happened at the end of the last film, Caesar would be traumatized by having to kill his brother. that would have resonance. And we wanted to make sure that did not get lost. So the answer was that we could go inside Caesar's mind at this point and revisit Koba that way. This means that the creators of the previous trilogy did not find a way to incorporate Koba into the story, so they decided to simply abandon his return. But this comment confirms that Koba really could have survived the fall. But then, if Koba did survive, what would his story have been like? How would it have unfolded? One of the biggest questions before the premiere of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is how the clans were divided. Noah belongs to the Eagle clan, while Proximus Caesar belongs to a completely separate clan, which has adapted Caesar's own teachings to manipulate others. If the theory that Koba survived is correct, then this could give an explanation for the origin of the clan of Proximus Caesar. Or even, this could also explain the origin of the Eagle clan. Something that could explain why apparently the clan of Noah knows nothing of Caesar's history. Perhaps Koba created his own clan after surviving that fall, and eventually became that Eagle clan of which Noah is a member. There are several theories linking Noah to Caesar, like the markings on his chest, for example. But it would be very interesting if we were shown how Noah is actually a descendant of a clan created by Koba. However, now that we know that Koba was initially supposed to survive that fall, it means that there is a possibility that Koba's untold story will eventually be shown to us in the future. As I mentioned in previous videos, the story of the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes takes place 300 years after Caesar's death. What this means is that there are many stories that can still be told, including the stories of Caesar himself, and that there is a chance we could see these characters return. It is possible that we could see a final confrontation of Koba against Caesar, a story that was never revealed, neither in the comics nor in the movies. We could even see a story in which Koba creates his own clan, obviously away from Caesar, and eventually becomes the Eagle clan. Or it is also possible that he became the clan of Proximus Caesar. The idea of Koba or Caesar returning in the future would be something to be excited about. Even more so when the actors themselves have been willing to return to the franchise. In the past few days, we saw the actor who played Caesar in the previous trilogy at the London premiere, and he was supporting the new actors. It can't be ruled out that maybe in the future we could see him back. Personally, I think there is still a story to tell with Caesar and Koba, and that we could see what really happened with them. But tell me, what do you think about all this? Do you think Koba survived, and that he was the creator of the Eagle clan? Did you know that in the clip after the credits of the movie, you could hear Koba breathing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And for more videos from the Planet of the Apes universe, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on The Oasis Geek.